one thing that came to the forefront of my mind as I was reading this book is how lacking my tea supply is. It was just jarring. I'm going through and reading the book, and they have really tasty recipes in there. I know that I've seen these recipes, but I've just never done it. At the end of the book, they had a recipe for an Earl Grey cookie slash scone shortbread type of ordeal, and I went down to look through my supply. Basically, all I have right now is a ton of peppermint. That's a must for me. I have to have that. Pumpkin spice. So much of that in there. That's another cozy one at the end of the night. I like pumpkin spice lattes, tea lattes with it. Baking with either of those I think would be really good, but this recipe just kept calling to me. I'm like, Earl Grey. I don't even have any English breakfast or anything like that. I have a few herbal, no indigo tea, so spring tea in general, just extremely lacking right now. I think we need to go out and explore a little bit, see if I can't find on the top of my list Earl Grey. I like them in the tins though. What I've been doing lately is collecting the tins. I'm wanting to make a display with them, but I need to have 12 tins in total, and they all have to match in order to make like a little haunted house display for my tea. This is something way down the road. Whenever I get the tins, I can go ahead and make this. I'm keeping in mind, okay, square, I measured the tins that I already have. This is what I want. If I can't find the tins, we're just gonna get some Earl Grey in general. English breakfast, I definitely want the indigo tea. Something with strawberry as well, because they chatted about that a lot. I think it was the scones that she was making that had the strawberry in it, or like biscuits. It was just like tea biscuits that went with whatever tea they had. They had a custom little tasty snack to go with their custom tea for the day in this bookshop. It was just a whole feeling of coziness in general, and I have the books. I have Crochet, the tea. That is what I need to do. Yeah, so we're gonna go out for a little bit. There's also another book that I was suggested to look into. I ordered that ahead of time because it was sold out in a lot of places. There was only one bookstore near me that had it. We're gonna go pick it up and hopefully dive into it today. It's a book about gardening, and just seeing the cover got me so excited. So I figured, you know what? Let's have an entire cozy day today. We're gonna go check some things out and hopefully find some good cozy tea for the day. exactly what I wanted for springtime. It feels like a cup of magic. I definitely need to invest in some more lemons. I see that I only have 2 in my fridge right now, and that is not going to cut it because this is going to be an everyday brew for me. There are many other recipes out there that I have saved for this indigo tea, but it's just one where it's so pretty on its own. Maybe I'll experiment with a latte a little bit later. That would actually be really pretty too. But today we're just going to enjoy the magic. Before we talk about the murder mystery that I just finished, the ins and outs of it, how cozy it was, how much I love it, and the fact that I am going to start the second one today. Not sure, but I think there's 5 in this series out already. Another thing that I love about murder mysteries, if you find a new series, chances are there's going to be like 6 or 7, so you can get a box set. But before we get into that, we need to talk about this book because look at this. How perfect. And then with the tea, this is your starter kit for a witchy spring. The Goth Garden, the mystery, beauty, and lore of dark gardening. These are the colors that I want to have when I look out my window in the morning, sipping my indigo tea and see this just growing in my backyard. Oh, that would be amazing. I'm just really feeling this color of purple right now too, because I have my witchy beret here and this kickstarted it. I can actually have it on with my clip too. I was playing around with that the other day. Like, can I have my clip and this on? Yeah, you totally can. I don't know why you would want to, but it's a thing and you totally can. And it makes the point of the hat stick up a little bit more. So just saying, you've got some options. Step into the realm of shadow and soil where every leaf whispers lore and every bloom bears a secret. Thank you so much a million times over for suggesting this book. It is just so freaking perfect. Yeah, I am going to devour this tonight. Chapter 1, The Goth Garden. We have Magic of a Goth Garden, the Victorian roots of the Goth Garden, creating your own Goth Garden. Chapter 2, an encyclopedia of Gothic plants. This is going to be super useful for me. It also goes through and chit-chats about them, where to plant them, the type of climate that it likes, which is helpful because my area that I have to plant is basically all sun. So there is only a few spots that would have any bit of shade with it, which is where I did most of my purple plants last year. So before I fall desperately in love with something, I'm just gonna look, okay, climate, what do we like? We like sunny climates. Okay, this one likes sunny. Oh, a rose. Yeah, that would be amazing. And even with my pumpkins pretty much taking up a nice chunk of my backyard, I still have a lot of area. Yeah, and it's definitely gonna curve. Oh, these ones! I actually planted this in my flower beds last year and I could not remember what it was called. Dracula. Yes! In my flower bed, they just thrived. I watered them in the morning. I think I made it to about mid-October, which is when pretty much everything in my area starts to die off. This is going to be a must again for me. I had this and then I had some vines too. So yeah, there's that book. And it went perfectly with my tote that I've decorated too. I love the giant pockets. Other side, I have my crochet hook. I couldn't find one of my crochet hook holders. I just risked it and threw it in this pocket. And I've been traveling around with it all day. I put other things in here. You saw all my groceries and stuff, even the flowers that were in here too, and nothing bothered it. Project. How far along am I in my bookish wrap? Felt appropriate to get my flower spinner out as well. This one is so smooth. It doesn't make any noises and I'm setting it down, which seems like an obvious thing, but some of my yarn spinners, they do make a little bit of noise or they'll grind against the plastic. This one is really, really smooth. So this is cake number 4 of the Radiu active yarn from Get Ben's Farm. And here's what I have. Let's see. I haven't even like thrown it around me recently to see where we're at. I have 6 hanks in total. I don't know if I'm going to need 6 hanks. I'm leaning more towards maybe 5. I mean, I do want it big and oversized. And this is the one that has the little flecks in here that are UV reactive. So I have my black light. Just another thing that brings me joy. That's one of the things with this is because it's milled at Get Ben's Farm. She really plays around and makes these beautiful custom blends. And I don't have any wearable pieces from Get Ben's Farm. This one is just going to be so special and warm and cozy. And I have a lot of really positive energy that I've been crocheting into this, just thinking about my garden, making all these awesome teas. There's a lot of spooky happiness that's been worked into this one. I'm not rushing it because I'm enjoying the process, but I'm definitely ready to be able to wear this one. So yeah, that is where we're at with it. I think I will stop at 5, reassess, see if I actually need the 6th one. If I don't, I'll probably make another one of these witchy berets just to have a full-on matchy outfit. Oh yeah, the magazine. That was the other thing that I found, which was a fun happy accident. This movie, oh my gosh, I cannot wait for this to come out. The scariest film you've ever heard. There's a lot of fun recommendations, and you know me, I love my campy horror movies. This one is not supposed to be campy horror at all though. I mean, it says it right here, the scariest film you've ever heard. From the clips that I've seen, it does look super spooky. I wanted to read a little bit about it. I don't know if I'm gonna read it before I watch the movie or if I'm gonna wait, because sometimes it does spoil the fun if I read all the back lore about the movie. Yeah, this is gonna be so good. I'm not normally a found footage type of ghoulie. Like, I love the Blair Witch, I love the VHS series, but it's not one that I find myself rewatching. The combination of a podcast and how it's sound that is really spooky, because let's be honest, that can make or break a horror movie. So the fact that the heavy focus is on sound and with the headphones on, yeah, I'm excited about that. There's many other recommendations in here. All right, now let's go ahead and dive into my first book that I finished off of my April queue, which is Steeped to Death. And if you don't have your crochet project, go ahead and grab that. We're getting cozy right now. We're talking about a cozy murder mystery. So this is book 1 in a Witch's Brew mystery. We got 7 hours and 23 minutes of crochet time. It flew by. I wasn't bored, I wasn't lackluster. They did a good job of explaining things. I mean, because book number 1 in murder mysteries, when it's part of a series, you know you're gonna have to do some world building. And I'm totally okay with that, because the 3 categories to describe this book was cozy, paranormal, and detective. I know I'm gonna have a good time with those. So we have our main character, Phoebe. She doesn't really know the direction that she wants to go, or even who she is or what she wants. She just recently went through a divorce, never really set roots in the area that she's at. We start the book off with her aunt passing away, and she has a letter from her telling her that her aunt, who had no children, is gifting her her Victorian Gothic house, which comes with an orange tabby cat, and her tea shop, which is a thriving part of this small town community. Now, Phoebe did spend time in the summer with her aunt, learn how to create tea blends, so she already has fond memories of this house. Like 2 chapters in, we have a character that comes up and desperately wants her to sell. Is super rude about it, and her aunt warns her in her very last letter that she sends to her, watch out for Deirdre. Okay, we need to keep tabs on Deirdre, keep her away from the shop and the house, and everybody is kind of wondering if she's gonna sell everything and move on, or if she's gonna become a part of the town herself. Because she spent summers here and she has a lot of fun memories with the house and also the tea shop, she quickly decides that this is it. We're gonna set some roots down here. Almost immediately after she decides that she's gonna be staying, there is a murder that happens in the back of her shop. Or like, not the back in the shop, but by the back door of her shop. Going into it, Phoebe doesn't really know anything about the world of witches, but from the cover, it's not much of a spoiler. There's witchy elements to it. Also, if you scroll all the way down, mystery, cozy, witchcraft, magic, women's sleuths, paranormal, fantasy. There's a couple more in there as well. But like, that's a main part of this book too. If in the beginning you get a couple chapters in and you're like, where's all the witchy stuff? Just know that this is world building right now. And our main character really had to explore the town for this one, make the conscious decision to decide to stay, make this her new home, make some friends along the way. So she had a lot of things on her plate, but we eventually get there. My favorite part of this book is that it's based in a tea shop that is also a bookshop. As they're describing it, you can smell the paperbacks, feel the overstuffed chairs that they have in there, the cookies that come out, the tea that she experiments. It radiates coziness. That's really what I wanted from this book. I want to hear about the day-to-day of her unboxing some of the new paperbacks that she has. For me, this this is 5 out of 5 bat rating, not because of the plot, but because of the feeling that I get from the book. It is cozy through and through. It's a warm cup of tea. I do want to get into the second one, and that one is called Death by a Thousand Sips. This one is 9 hours long, so a little bit longer, but it's not going to be my focus this week because I do have other ones on my queue for April that I absolutely want to finish. Next up, I'm going to be reading The Bane Witch, which is totally different than the cozy murder mystery. If you're interested in reading this one along with me, make sure first, before you get into it, you check out the trigger warnings. We have our main character who fakes her own death in an attempt to escape her volatile marriage. So that topic right there is going to be a lot heavier than a cozy murder mystery. This has been on my queue to get into for such a long time. I've heard really strong opinions. They have been all either 4.5 or 5 stars. Practical magic meets Gone Girl, a compelling dive into the darker side of human nature, of good and evil, and the gray areas in between. I have attempted to read this one once before, and I just wasn't in the right mindset to get going into it, but I am already to chapter 7 here, and I feel like I'm ready now to get into this one. So this is what I'm going to be focusing on this week as I continue to work on my bookish crochet wrap here. So there are a couple of options for you. You can either read The Bane Witch with me this week, or jump into a cozy murder mystery and have yourself a warm cup of tea. But for now, that is it. So thanks for hanging out with me, having a little bit of a chit chat here in the Yarn Dungeon. Let me know if there's any other cozy murder mystery books out there that you have spotted lately and you feel like I need to read, because that is a revolving queue for me. So cozy murder mysteries, throw it out there. Let the rest of the Ghoul Squad know. Otherwise, have a super spooky rest of your night, and I will see you in my next video.